before we get to that, let's react to the news of the day in college basketball. Monday night's regional finals peaked at a 12.1 million viewers. That is amazing. And so what's happened with women's college basketball is it's undeniable now, the growth of the sport and the attraction to Caitlin Clark. And yes, I think to LSU as well. There has to be the good cop and the bad cop, the yin and the yang, the bad guy or the defending champion that everybody wants to take down, and of course the good guy who hasn't been there yet, and that being Iowa, and Iowa wins in the rematch. But what it signifies is the popularity of the sport growing, because they were as a doubleheader, and both the doubleheaders rated very, very well. Now remember, that's not the overall rating. This is the peak of the metrics, and the men's tournament is doing well as well. So what does it mean? Does it mean that the women should get out of the home sites for the first and second round? Or should they expand to having 4 regional sites, much like the men do? Remember, these are played at 2 regional sites. It's an effort to fill up the arena, and it worked. My thing is this, okay? I think, look, you can look at it reasonably, sensibly, and say, hey, the women's game is growing, but we don't know the sustainability when Caitlin Clark goes off to the WNBA. Angel Reese has already declared for the WNBA. Juju Watkins is going to be back. She's a star. Okay, Paige Beckers has already announced she'll be back. She's a star. Okay, but until you have 3-4 years of this progressive growth, I think it's much smarter, much wiser to stay at those home sites for the first and second round. They've tried to do the neutral sites. It's just too hard. Just too hard. Benny, I'm going to ask you, okay? And it's really interesting because both of us played in college. And both of our college programs were the dominant program over the women when we played. It's undeniable that the women's game has grown, not to the parallel of the men's game, but it's grown. So let me just ask you, if you're running the women's tournament next year, do you go away from the home sites and make it a neutral site, or do you stick with what's working this year?
I'm 100% not moving it away from where they're playing at home. I think this is a great option, having the fan base, engage in them outside of the first 2 rounds. But we're talking about what Caitlin Clark has done for Iowa, right? Like, Caitlin Clark has filled other arenas with Iowa fans in the Big Ten. Once you start getting to a point where you have like all these other programs, then I'm for it. But I think when you have the first 2 rounds, you build the excitement with the crowd there. I think the game is growing, and you want the game to continue to grow when you feel like you're at a place where at a neutral site, like that outside of Iowa and maybe USC, as you mentioned, Juju Watkins continuing to grow her career. I just think you need to grow a couple more stars and a couple more teams and a couple more conferences before you're saying, hey, let's go neutral site, because I enjoy seeing them play in front of their home fans in those first 2 rounds, because it builds the excitement. And the more you can do that, the more you're going to grow, and then you can bring it to a neutral site.
I think you bring up a great point. And look, we're human beings, okay? And it's reasonable to think that male viewers, okay, they have always held women probably to an unattainable standard and a reason that they don't want to watch. Now they're starting to watch. And whether it's a male or female, young or old, I think everybody wants to watch something that feels like it's a vibe, feels like it's a place you want to be, right? And I can only, take the men, for example. When you turn on the American Athletic Conference that played in Fort Worth, and it's friends and family only, there's 50, 100 people in the stands. No matter how good the basketball is, it makes it hard to watch, okay? And like, again, you're asking a lot of the fans of the female game to go and either attend or to watch. And I'm with you. Like, this feels like NASCAR overexpanding, feels like NHL overexpanding. Women's college basketball has tried it before. It's not like they haven't gone to the neutral site first and second round. The reason they stopped doing it is they weren't selling the tickets, and it looked terrible. And now you have full stands. Now, if the home team loses, obviously it can still make it hard. But I like the sites being home first and second round. I think it's a substantial reward. for the better teams. I also think, and this is the other part that's happened, you have less Cinderella stories. And I know that we think the viewer wants to see the Cinderella, but all the metrics would tell you, men's game, women's like, why was that game so popular? Well, because we knew they were on a collision course.